What up, Hyperchange? Welcome to another episode. We got some crazy Tesla news yesterday. Reuters coming out with an exclusive report that Tesla is slated to begin Model Y production in November 2019. What? So this sort of blindsided the market. I did not see this coming, but it's coming from Reuters. A very official news source is saying that suppliers have received initial bids to deliver parts to Tesla by November 2019 so that they could begin the initial Model Y production. Like, I don't know. So I'm still processing this news. So I want to make an episode about what's going on here. First, I thought we'd start with a little Model Y history lesson. In June 2017, Tesla, at their shareholder meeting in Mountain View, which of course Hyperchange was at and vlogged, Tesla unveiled the teaser image for the Model Y, which was sort of like a cheaper, downsized, more economical version than its Model X SUV. Sort of like what the Model 3 is to the Model S, the Model Y is to the Model X. A ton to be excited about Tesla entering this category. He even said at that shareholder meeting, Tesla would be designing an entirely revamped architecture to build the Model Y that was unlike anything the industry had ever seen, state-of-the-art, cutting edge. August 2017, Tesla goes back on those plans. Elon says that his management team walked him off the cliff and that they're going to be using the same architecture as the Model 3 to build the Model Y, so it'll be a lot simpler so they can bring the product to market faster. Then, early 2018, on the Q4 conference call, Elon Musk gives us more details about the Model Y, indicating that he's going to lay out production plans for the vehicle in about 3 to 6 months. He thinks they're going to be able to start deliveries in late 2019, hit volume production in 2020, which I don't think anybody really believed. But, you know, that's sort of in line exactly with what Reuters is reporting. Then, an interesting piece of news was that Electrek reported on March 9th that they were finding job postings on the Tesla website indicating they needed engineers for specifically the Model Y program. So once again, the news is heating up. Then what I thought was maybe unrelated, but a very also fascinating piece of news was that on April 1st, reports indicated that Elon Musk and Tesla were interested in acquiring a massive parcel of land near the stadiums in Oakland. They're going in a bidding process against the Oakland A's new stadium, I think. This is just a gargantuan plot of land, which is only 24 miles away from their current factory in Fremont, California. So it would be very strategically located, you know, next to the Gigafactory still, right in that sort of Silicon Valley Tesla zone where they're already situated. Now, is that going to be where the new production facility is for the Model Y? I don't know. But that brings me to my next point, which is Elon Musk, on the latest conference call, indicated that the Fremont factory had a production capacity of about 700,000 cars max, maybe 100,000 Model S and X, and about 600,000 Model 3s. So that begs the question is, where are they going to build the Model Y? If they're starting to build this thing in late 2019, that's only a year and a half away. The factory where they need to do that supposedly doesn't even exist. So that brings up to question all these different theories about where they're actually going to build this thing. My personal belief is that they are actually going to be building the Model Y at the Fremont factory as well on the second production line for the Model 3. If you remember, the Model 3 is now targeted to scale to 5,000 units per week production on a single production line. Then they're going to start planning out to build out another production line, equally can do about 5,000 units per week. And if the architecture is indeed similar between the Model Y and the Model 3, it's possible they could use that second production line, but that doesn't really answer the question of, okay, if you're going to be building 1 million Model Ys per year, it seems pretty clear that they're going to need a new Fremont factory unless they can outdo their original guidance for Fremont of 700,000 cars by a factor of 2 to 3. The Model 3, the Model Y, the Model S and X, and the Semi are going to be potentially selling, you know, up to 2 million units per year. So the math just doesn't add up unless there's something we don't know. And a hyperchanger, I want to give a shout out, gave me this incredible email that was breaking down how Elon's comments on the last conference call indicated about, you know, all these things about how production speeds were so slow. Specifically, this is the super interesting part. But it sounds like some of the fastest car factories produce a car maybe every 25 seconds. That sounds fast, but if you think of a 5-meter long car, including a gap, and a 4.5-meter car with a half-meter gap or something, that's only 0.2 meters per second. Like a grandma with a walker can exceed the speed of the fastest production line we're in. So really not that fast. Walking speed is 1 meter per second, so 5 times faster than the production line on Earth. Why shouldn't it be at least jogging speed? I mean, in the limit, companies should start caring about the aero drag in the factory, which that's maybe around 20 or 30 miles per hour, call it 30 kilometers an hour, 40 kilometers an hour. It's like stuff should be moving at that speed. So here Elon is really doing some fascinating sort of hinting that in the long term with car production in general, he believes there's a possibility to ramp up production line speeds by an order of magnitude, 10 to 20x faster than they are currently at the industry. So, if this is right and they can implement this sort of technology in the Fremont factory, then they may be seriously downplaying how many cars they can build out of that facility. So that's just one theory I have, is that they've totally lowballed how many cars they can build at Fremont. Because the architecture is the same, they're going to be able to start pumping out Model Ys and semis from that same factory. But I will admit, I'm sort of skeptical of that idea. I just don't know. There's just so much up in the air right now with the Model Y. Now, what's really interesting about this Reuters report as well, as they sort of back up this theory, saying that apparently the vehicle would begin to be built at its Fremont, California plant in November of next year, the two sources with knowledge of the supply chain said. So the Reuters report here is indicating that against all odds, Tesla's going to be using the same Fremont factory to build the Model Y. They also indicate that in 2021, Tesla plans to start Model Y production in China, which is another little interesting tidbit wrench in the story. So what do I think about this? The shorts are definitely going to point to this and say, oh, this means that Tesla's desperate to raise money. They're going to hype up that they need money to build the Model Y. They're just using this as a capital raise. BS. Okay. I totally disagree. What I think is actually going on at Tesla is business as usual. The media has created this incredible hype storm around the company that they're failing, that Model 3 is a disaster, they haven't figured it out. That could not be more wrong. The Model 3 production, according to the Bloomberg tracker and the VIN data that I've been following, appears to be ramping well above 2,000 per week now, tracking towards 3,000 per week. Additionally, the company doesn't look like they're going to need to raise capital, according to their latest press release. I think they're firing on all cylinders. The Model 3, the Model S, and the Model X are already the top 3 best-selling electric vehicles in the entire country right now. So in terms of market share, in terms of production growth, Tesla's actually been killing it, even though they've been missing their own targets. So I think internally, the company's on solid footing. We're always looking in the rear view mirror with these production targets of Model 3 and, bottlenecks and delivery numbers. Those are all in the past. If you think about what's actually happening today on the factory floor, at a run rate of well over 100,000 units of the Model 3, scaling incredibly quickly, they need to be planning for the Model Y right now, which is what we're seeing them do with this supply chain. I believe that after we see Model 3's ramp to about 5,000-6,000 units per week in late 2018, we're going to see Tesla unveil the Model Y officially, take reservations. That's going to be a massive capital infusion. The Model 3 added maybe $400 million to their balance sheet if you take a $1,000 reservation times the about 400,000 that they received. If the Model Y gets anything in that ballpark, this could be several hundred million capital infusion for the company in late 2018 as well. As a long-term Tesla bull, I think the Model Y is just a big part of their overall thesis. They're going to be building this in a year or two, despite that all the skeptics don't think this will happen. I actually believe that Tesla will start production very late 2019 on the Model Y, but it will be very similar to Model 3 when it started production in July. The first couple months are going to be very difficult. The ramp's going to be slow. By the time we get to mid-2020, which sounds far away, but really only 2 years away, Model Y will be being produced at volume as well, potentially in the several 100,000 units per year. Tesla's been telling us they want to be building 1 million electric cars a year by 2020. How are they going to get there? The Model S, the Model X, the Model Y, the Model 3. That's why we're seeing them make moves on the Model Y right now in preparation for this mega growth. I still have a massive question mark about where they're going to be building the Model Y. I think they have to have a new factory announcement coming in the near term, or an announcement of a breakthrough technology in manufacturing that allows them to rapidly scale the Fremont facility beyond anything they have previously guided. I'm incredibly bullish on the Model Y as a whole. The crossover market, as I said, is the fastest growing part of the entire automotive business. It's a mega market, bigger than what the Model 3 is targeting. Elon Musk has said the Model Y could be selling 1 million units per year on an average of $50,000 per car. That's potentially a $50 billion revenue opportunity for the Model Y. Tesla's entire value as a company right now is only around 40 to 50 billion. So much excitement if they can actually pull this off. If you guys have any ideas, theories about the Model Y, or anything related to this news, I would love to know in the comments below. Anyway, that wraps up this episode. If you like Hyperchange and you want to support, please consider checking out our Patreon page. We have an exclusive newsletter there, which is awesome. Also, don't forget to check out the Hyperchange Reddit, which is in beta mode. Some great stuff going on there as well. Anyway, see you guys next time. Peace.